Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the Petal Place property located in the countryside of northeastern Ontario, Canada. I shared with you guys earlier how I am still getting sweet potato slips in my garden because I kept my sweet potatoes in the soil and they keep growing slips. So I am actually forking up this garden bed, loosening up the soil because I am getting ready to put in some potato slips. Now, I don't know if I have enough time for them to mature, but nothing beats a trial but a failure. So, yeah, let's go get some sweet potato slips and put them in the soil. Now, there will come a time when I have to give up on these sweet potatoes and stop growing slips. But for now, I'm gonna let them stay in the soil and keep growing slips. Maybe I'll stop growing slips somewhere, maybe about mid-August to the third week of August or so. Yeah, but I'm gonna put these baby in the planter and I'm gonna water them so that they stay moist. Moving on, I am trying my best to see if I can get the plants watered from those rain barrels. I don't know if I should call them rain barrels anymore because we haven't seen rain in so long. Yeah, we've been going through a horrible, horrible drought. Now, right now, I am trying to water some rosemary and some tomatillas around the corner there. But the thing is, I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you try to water your plants by either using a watering can or a hose, unless you put a sprinkler down for a few minutes, well, the water doesn't really penetrate the soil. Now I will stand there with the hose that I have there and I'll let the water run, and then I will stoop over and scratch with my finger, and just beneath the top it will be dry. Worse, like the water is actually coming from the drums, as I said, the rain barrels, and so it doesn't have that pressure. So it's almost like the water is peeing out of the wand, right? Right now I'm trying to water some radish that I planted in this container, and I'm trying to do my best to give the things that are newer in the garden more water. But at this time of the season, it is kind of devastating and disappointing that we haven't gotten any rain. There are some things that are just perishing because, as I said, I can't water them enough. Now, drop it in the comments. Let me know if you guys are going through drought. And if you're not going through, if you're going through drought, how is your garden faring? What are the things that are performing in your garden? What are the things that are not performing in your garden? For me, the things that are not doing very well are that I expected to do better this year because I thought I was going to get some rain. Or, well, I wouldn't even say in general my tomatoes, because the tomato over in the pond place, they are doing way better than the tomatoes over in this section, which I call the monarch garden. It seems to me like over in this section is way, way more arid, way drier than over in the pond place. So the tomato plants that I have over here, believe you me, they are old. You guys would have seen when I seeded them and I started them from very early. They're just as old as the ones in the pond place, and the ones in the pond place are almost as tall. Some of them are taller than I am, and I'm 5 feet 8 inches. The ones over here, the tallest one probably is 24 inches or so. Like, they're not growing. Not only are they not growing, but they're not putting on fruit. Because just like we need lots of water, see me walking with my water bottle or my water cup, it's more like a cup. Yeah, we need water just the same way the plants need water, because just like we are made up of like a large percentage of water, maybe 70% or more of water, it's the same thing with the plants. And so, yeah, I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying. I am trying with what I have. But at this point, I actually feel like I want to start taking some things out of the garden that look like I'm not going to get anything from them. I know for sure I'm going to get tomatoes from the tomato patch in the pond place. I'm not sure what I'm gonna get from my Irish potatoes and my sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes are vining, so I'm hoping I get something. The Irish potatoes, they grew. Some of them had flowers on, so I'm hoping I'll get something. The zucchini plant, recently you guys may have seen me reaped one zucchini and one summer squash. Now recently, what's going on with me there? Look like something. Oh, you know what it was? It was like a wasp that was coming at me. Yeah, but then it flew away into the maple tree. We have quite a few maple trees around that area. Those are the ones that we tap to get maple sap to make maple syrup. Yeah. But yeah, guys, drop it in the comments and let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods, if you're having drought or all is well with you. I know for sure, though, that next year I have to come up with a plan, because this is the year when I felt so good. I got everything started so early and I thought that everything was going to go great. I was going to do well. And then it seems like most things are falling flat on their faces. My pumpkins, wow, most of them are just starting to vine out. And you know, pumpkins have to vine out. Yeah. They have to get flowers. And most times the flowers that start coming first are the male flowers before the female. I didn't think I got time for pumpkins to bear and ripen right now, but I'm gonna let the vines run. I see some. I watch other gardeners on YouTube, and I see gardeners put in their stuff after I did, and they're reaping stuff, and mine are just so stunted. But I'm staying encouraged. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is some brassicas and stuff that I planted like almost 3 months now, and they're going nowhere, doing nothing. I think I'm going to start pulling those. They're not going to give me anything for this year. Yeah. But, as I said, I'm just going to have to do some serious planning for next year and see what I can do to improve my watering situations when there is a drought. Because weather patterns are changing and we don't know what's going to happen next. But one thing for sure, I want to keep gardening. I don't want to stop gardening. How about you? This is very tedious and time consuming, but my babies need water, so what can I do? I gotta give them some water. And these are one of the crops that I expect to get something from. So I have to make sure I maintain them. My sweet potatoes. I am looking forward to some sweet potatoes. More. Thanks so much for spending some time with me in the garden today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Please consider subscribing and coming along with me on this journey on which I am endeavoring, working hard, putting in some elbow grease to create a country cottage garden retreat. See you again soon.